You can hear me. Is there anyone home? Hello, hello, some information pushed. Hey, Brendan's up. John Hoag's up. Evo Bowhunter still grinding at the shop. That's right. Thiel's hanging on by a thread. He's got one eye open. We still here. We still painting. DT just got home from the slammer. Johnny, he's cruising the cold roads of who knows where by now. Watching hockey. David, damn, it's a bunch of damn cockroaches out tonight. Who knew? Who knew? BBC working out. What are you working out, bro? What are you working out? I don't even want to ask. I don't even want to ask the guy, the guy that goes by BBC, what he's working out at 11:30 at night Eastern time. Kyle, what's BBC working out at midnight in Georgia? True campers are still up. Got your drop off parked in PA for night. I hear you. Is it cold? Oh, Ryan, the elf. I know the elf well. He'll be waiting for me when I get home. That guy. He's bench pressing 5-pound dumbbells. Whatever muscles needed for hog cranking. I think we know what muscles that are. That is. Yo, Bobby, did you catch any on a crankbait today? And if you didn't, it wasn't because you didn't have the right crankbait. It was Bobby's fault. I need my my black paint. Why do I do this to myself? Oh, good question. Good question. Because it's amusing. No, I actually got some more black. I found some. I did do something different though. I loaded my yellow up with magic gold dust. So now rather than just yellow eyes, they're like yellow shimmery gold eyes. Don't know why I did that, but I didn't even just do a little bit. I just did all of it. I said screw it. Uh-oh. Don't like that. Let's go bigger. Don't like where that eyeball ended up, so we're going we're going fix the problem. So we got double big pupils. These are JP-ish. I'm not typically a fan of that size pupil, so we'll go back down and try again a little closer to the side. Waiting for your file to upload to Spotify before bed. How responsible of you, Hella. Most people just go to bed and let that shit sort itself out. But you're a... Damn, it did it again. I can't get close. Let's see if I can squeak it over. I did. There we go. There we go. That's a little more like myself. I'm typically a small pupil guy. You sound excited? No, I'm just pushing through, bro. I'm just pushing through, and I'm actually excited because there's 14 campers out there, and I was expecting none, to be honest with you. So the fact that there's 14 people on here kind of got me excited. If you want to know the whole truth, that's the whole truth. Caffeine, nicotine, and a dream. That's right. No, I don't have a bad bedtime gator. My bedtime doesn't exist. No such thing. No such thing. Like if I were smart, I would go to sleep when my kids wake up. That way when they woke up in the middle of the night, I would have already slept 8 hours or 6 hours or 5 hours or whatever. But instead, I don't do that. I'll wait for them to go to sleep for 5, 6 hours and I'm still awake. And then they wake up in the middle of the night and I haven't been to sleep yet. I popped a couple Zens, BBC. Why? You interested? You interested in picking up a habit at your young age? Blemish bad eyes. Well, you never know they were bad because I just made them the pupils larger. But now you know that if you get large pupils, they weren't. That wasn't as intended. It's only one. I'll mix it up. Work 2 to 10. I must all the good stuff. Well, glad you're here. Glad DT could make it for the midnight stream. I still got to clear these bitches. The problem with doing eyes and painting all in one day is that you have to wait for the shit to dry. Yeah, what's up with that, Hella? That really pisses me off, though. For you and the hard work that you put in to your show and your channel, that people won't respond to that. But you put, Ben Milliken gets arrested and some other guy punches somebody or gets in a slap fight with somebody. Then like everybody's like, ooh, can't not watch this. It's like, how about y'all just like support the dude normally? People like drama. They need to get over the drama thing. We need to rid the world of drama is what needs to happen. I think that's the problem. I think drama and all the bullshit has gotten so like deep seated in everybody's like fiber that they don't know what to do without it. Like it like feeds everything. Ponytail violation. Possibly. Ben has already made sure. Shut the scope. Eyeball helper? Yes. If it's your brother, yeah, send him over. Because he dots eyes like a real man with solvent, just like the Japanese dudes. You fuck up one of those eyes, you fuck up real good. Me, I could just wash the shit off if I wanted to. Jacob messes up. He went all the way. Must be a heron thing. Must be a heron thing. Y'all don't go halfway. Yes, BBC. A lot of the Japanese guys, they'll take these model. I used to have one. Something like this shit. Mr. Color. You see this a lot in Japan. A lot of those guys use it. They'll take them. We'll smoke this. I'm going to smoke this. They'll take it, and it's pretty loosey-goosey as it is, and they'll just leave the cap off for a week or two and let the solvent evaporate and let it get thick enough that they can dot with it, and then they dot with it. You can tell which eyes have it because they have a sheen and they're thinner, but they're also you can tell. You can always tell. Ed Chambers, on the other hand, I would like to know what he dotted eyes with. Because I think it's water-based. But it looks pretty damn good, whatever his... I'd like to know what his silver is. His silver's legit. BBC, don't try it. Don't. Just keep doing your thing the way you're doing it right now. You're not there yet, bro. You don't want to go there. I paint with pica repellent. That's a thought. I'm pretty anti-drama so much that for over a year, if Milligan uploads a clickbait drama channel, I don't watch. You don't even get on there and click on it real fast and give it a thumbs down and then get out. What do you have to watch? 2 minutes for it to get counted as a click? Hella, can you confirm? No, Johnny. I think I'm just going to order a bunch of them and just like list them on the website in 1,000 packs. It's only 2 seconds that you have to watch a video for a click. Damn. I thought it was 2 minutes. Maybe that's the old days. Yeah, I think I'm just going to order like 10,000 of like 4 different sizes and then just call it good rather than trying to like get everybody to get together what they want. Then you can just get what you want. And maybe break them up into smaller packs. Like the more you buy, the cheaper they are. So. Deron does some nice eyes. He does. He's a triple dotter. He's a triple dotter. So Morgan Mason got his wish. He got tomato shad on the big boy. I like it. It's sexy. It's sexy. Foil. I like foil if somebody else does it, especially Rapala, and they paint it green gizzard or bleeding olive shiner. I like that. Shut up, lady. Yeah, I like it when other people do it. But Chrome is a thing. Whatever anybody says on your reel, don't care. Hella Chrome, foil, whatever shiny material you choose is real. It makes a difference certain times of the year. Josh, have you started pressuring TK to get his ass to Fort Worth for the Classic? I was talking to him about that a couple weeks ago. Hello, will you be partaking? Will you be down there hawking batteries and other fixins? planning on it. Oh boy, we're gonna have a little meetup. Get the fixins. Did y'all watch? I said that to Morgan. I sent it to somebody else. My wife. I sat there in tears last night. Did y'all watch Eastbound and Down? The fixins. Oh, son of a bitch, dude. What is wrong with me tonight? I must have had too many fixins at dinner. I'm having to double dot these, which is a really, really brave move. It is a great show, Dustin. The fixins. Here's a color some of you might recall. I did it a little different. It's got silver glitter on it. It's called Sweet Potato. Made famous by Ed Chambers. I did mine with a green top, though. Ed did not. Ed did not. Will Yankee Bass eat a sweet potato? They eat yams. Probably won't like this one. For those northern guys, this will just be yam. If you're in the south of Mason-Dixon, this color is sweet potato. Bobby, I looked for a picture on Google. So did Morgan. Couldn't find them. But I painted this because it was one of those colors that I always wanted that I never like pulled the trigger on. So I just painted up my version of it. Yeah, I think Google is something's going on with the Google. Like I told y'all yesterday, I looked up like custom crankbait lure or something. Epic Eric's Bass Lab is the first hit on Google. I was like, bro, you've been working on your SEO or something? Because it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I don't know how to Google. Hello, what's the best search engine to like find what you're actually looking for these days? Because Morgan and I both tried to find a sweet potato colored WEC Zoom crankbait, and we both found nothing. Accidentally binged. I didn't bing, bro. I don't bing. The search bar on Woodbait Nation has helped me find many color names, builder names. I've thought about that. My problem with getting on Woodbait Nation is that there's 3 levels of distractions, at least, in order for me to get to Woodbait Nation. And sometimes I don't even make it there. Sometimes I end up on Facebook and don't even know why I'm there. And then realize 30 minutes later, after I've been in a Facebook reel vortex or a marketplace vortex, that I came there for a reason, to get on Woodbait Nation and search for sweet potato. And then I don't, because I just wasted 30 minutes. And did you do it, BBC? Did you think I was lying? You have trust issues, BBC? You didn't believe me? It's true. I quoted the sweet potato part in the search bar and still nothing. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I even went so far as to get on eBay and look for completed listings, and I couldn't even find one in 4 pages of completed listings. I haven't yet, Hella. I haven't yet. I got to work on my logo. I need a logo too. And I'm going to have to cut that paragraph down to a blurb. It needs to be pretty short. Grizzly, what's up? So, sweet potato with a little, it's got a little hotter tail, if you might notice. It's got some, it's nasty. It's the crankbait I always wanted. I'll show you something else here in a second. We probably were. That's probably why I was slowing down. Grizzly, what's new? Sweet potato with a hot tailpipe. Kind of. Some nice taters got there. Spice sweet taters. Bobby, they are. I'm going to clear cut them tonight so I can list them tomorrow. Because I'm going out of town. And I need to have stuff done, going, processing. Because I'm behind. And I got to get to the next one. Builder dude is putting the pressure on me. The other bait, John, is a BDS4. A sweet, succulent BDS4. Those scales right there, even young BBC couldn't take his fucking magnifying glass and find a problem with. They're immaculate. Is this is that Mad Cow? It's sexy. It looks like a heron color. Christmas shopping at Downtown Disney, fun. So I painted a bunch of this color for Jesse Wiggins. He didn't submit those to Jackal though. He submitted my fucking color, dick. Mad Cow Bandit I like too. It looks like a crappie. White, bunch of black dots all over it with a pink and yellow head. It's an interesting design. I always think it looks like a crappie. It's a what was talking about? Dustin, Mad Cow Bandit. That's a really popular color here early in the spring. I don't know about in your neck of the woods where it falls in line as far as popularity, but for whatever reason, that's a good pre-spawn bait here. How do I dot eyes? Let me show you. What I do, and what I recommend to people, is you need your paint to be the right viscosity. You don't want it too runny. You don't want it too thick. You got to get it just right to where it sits right. where it doesn't run, but it's not also a big giant ninny on top of your eyeball. And then you could use drill bits, anything round. Uh, but I recommend if, like, I'm left-handed, I dot left-handed. So when I dot, the first eye I dot is the one opposite of my hand, the farthest away from my hand. So it would be my hand's here. I would dot the eye. If you turn the bait around, it's on the left, but facing me, it's the right side of. So I dot the eye away from me, and then the second one I dot, the one closest to my hand, I dot second. Seems to be a lot easier that way because you can see. I guess is the difference, is you can see what you're doing. And then there you have it. But some people use straws. I mean, not straws. Some people use spoons. That's bullshit. Because you know why? Because you don't try very hard if you're working on spoons. Because you know, if you dick up, you just throw the spoon in the trash. If you spent half your afternoon painting a bunch of baits, you try a little harder when it's your last step to not dick the baits up. So I'm an advocate for practicing on real stuff. I think it makes for a better human. You got to get that ice in your veins is the deal. Like dicking around on spoons and stuff, and it's not icy. You got to get that ice, dude. Josh, speaking of the Flat Max, uh, I had my boat keys in here from my first Triton, and I pulled it out, and there was like 6 Flat Maxes stuck to it. I was like, damn. And they didn't have cracks or anything in them. For whatever reason, I just started hanging Flat Maxes off my boat keys. But I didn't have any American flag ones. I did have a mistake one, which was a pretty good find. I do like dotting eyes, though. Dude, Ira is a freak. I don't know how on God's green earth he even, like, out of all the work that goes into what he's doing, how he gets to that step and just freehands the eyes uh, is beyond me. So if anybody's curious what we're talking about, I'll show you real quick what Ira does when he dots eyes. So he racks up baits like this, similarly, and he takes them and he goes like this, and he goes down the baits and goes dink, 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 dink. He doesn't steady his hand. He just floats it. So he has a floating hand, which is insane to me. So even if the bait doesn't have a lip, I would probably set the bait some way like this and then grab the bottom with hemostats. I've done this before on topwater baits. You take hemostats, put those on there, and then it gives you something to grab, and then you can dot like that. But not being able to like steady my hand to dot an eye really freaks me out. But these are pretty sexy, bros. These are pretty sexy. Not gonna lie. The eyes really bring them together. The eyes really do it. All right. Here's my personal ones. Oh, you want to hold them against the paper? Hold on. Where's my paper? No. I don't have any damn paper. There's a box. Oh, keep that guy's address. And I also wanted some splatter down the side. So if you see some splatter on the side, that was intentional. I splattered the back and then I went down separately and splattered the side because I wanted to break up the sides a little bit and make them kind of raunchy. Winter tuned, yeah, they're a little heavier, so they float a little slower, and the bills are a little deeper, a little longer, so they dive a little deeper. So deeper and slower. And we're not talking about BBC's workout routine. Do you touch the drill bit all the way down or just enough that the paint transfers? It depends. That's another good point, Max. You got to know how much paint, or you got to know your tools. So I know that this little daughter, if I load it up as much as I can, how much paint's going to come off of it. But like if I'm using a drill bit and I were to dot eyes on this would be too big. So, but I know that from doing it a million times. So I would not need to press this all the way down. But it's all about how big of a blob you want. So the farther you go down, the bigger the blob's going to get. So if all of your drill bits are the right size to be fully loaded with paint and dot, if you push all the way down, that'll be the maximum that thing can do. But I don't really press too hard, but I do typically touch. I do touch the eye or the bait, whatever. I do touch it. But like I said, if you're trying to get less paint, you don't touch it. So, like if you got something really small you want to do and you don't have like a microscopic like toothpick to do it with, just touch it lightly. It takes a softer touch, but it's doable. Check this out. This is a Risto modded Risto mod. That's not a Risto. This is a hand carved Risto mod. What all objects have you tried to use to dot eyes? I've used all kinds of weird shit. Nothing too strange. I will never. I don't know that I will convince Builder Dude to make sinkers. And here's the other. Here's the other prototype he did. I'm hoping these swim. I'm sure they do. But this is that Charlie O. Don't know what a Charlie O does, but we're going to find out. Yeah, Burns isn't down with the sinkers. That's a Jacob thing. That's a Tato thing. He leaves the sinkers to Jacob and Josh. All right. Look at this succulent little thing. You know what that is? That's the DT8, the real one. What Rapala dropped the ball on. That was what it's supposed to be. Yo, Zach. Next level, that's my favorite shad pattern, I think. For just fishing, I probably reach for that more than any of them. I reach for that one more than any of them. Oh, yeah. 11 o'clock. I might get out of here by midnight. If these eyes will dry. I can get some... if I can find my pen. If I can find my pen so I can sign these damn things and get out of here. It's not Zach, it's his son. Yo, Zach's son. Yeah, that's the Dustin. That is a DT6 body with a longer bill to make it an 8, not a stupid DT10 body with a flat bill, or a DT10 with a short DT10 bill. Later, Bobby. Do I still have the mini rat with the leather tail? He used to be floating around up here somewhere. Yeah. The possum? The possum? I got the possum. Bobby's got one. Yeah, I still got the possum hanging out. I wonder if I took my pen. Nope, there it is. Had a built-in tail? Probably. It's in this pile of stuff. If Burns sent it to me, I've still got it. I can guarantee that. There's one. It was. Where was it? Oh, there's 3 of them. That one didn't have a built-in tail. Maybe Bobby got the. Maybe Bobby got that one. Maybe I painted that one as a giveaway. That might be the one Bobby got. That might be the one Bobby got. I don't know. Bobby got the chipmunk? I don't know then. It's around here somewhere. around here somewhere. It's in here. Not in there. I'll have to dig. I got Burns boxes everywhere. It might be on the wall up there. I'm just not seeing it. Might have moved it over here. Who knows? Who knows? Ever make a tail from articulated shanks? Prison knives? Is it like the Wake? Similar. Is that like the Game Changer? Is that what you're talking about? Like what the Game Changer flies made out of? Is that what they call the pieces? No, I've never messed with those. But I remember when the Game Changer came out, it interested me. It interested me to the point where I wanted a big one I wanted one big enough that I could throw it on a baitcaster. Or maybe not a baitcaster, but a spin and run. Morgan, why don't will you overtake that project for me? Will you make me an articulated fish that weighs enough that I could throw on a spinner pole? There you go. Tie it on a jig and fish it with conventional gear. That was my plan when I first saw it, which is that's how my brain works, because I knew, seeing the Game Changer, I said, I'm not a fly fisherman. I don't need a fly. How can I make this work for me? How can I get that action in a conventional bait? And the way I figured to do it was just make it big, real big. But tying it on a jig head would be cool too. But that was back when I was interested in tying stuff. That was a phase. I'm out of that phase. 5 Game Changers on an A rig. That sounds pretty sexy, and it keeps it light. Smart. Yeah, now you're talking, Morgan. I don't know, just something castable. 1/4 ounce. I've seen that zombie rat popping up on the Reddit recently. Oh, somebody made their own? Yeah, here's mine. That's beautiful. It's one of my favorite things I own. What a work of art. I couldn't never make myself throw this, but they are immaculate. Everybody needs to own one just to have a piece of Jonas Summers' brilliant mind in bait form. Where do you get one of these? You need to contact Jonas Summers, who goes by the name Follow Forms now on social media stuff. But if you've been around a while, Jonas was previously under the name Lure Kalure Studios, and he did a few YouTube crankbait videos, like how to paint. Dude is so insanely talented. He can do everything. It makes me sick. Like, if you think you're good at something, like, that dude's good at everything. Everything. Ryan, I never poured one. They got bastardized, and I knew it was going to happen. And like seeing so many people pour it, it just made me sick. That they'd like, which is what he wanted, obviously by selling the molds, but it just turned my stomach seeing all the crumbs pour and sell his bait. Uh, if you want to see something else sexy, there you go. That is sexy. It's no Jonas Summer shit, but it's still different kind of sexy. The things they did with those are heartbreaking. I believe you're correct. Has anyone asked you to paint the blank Berkeley Nessie yet? No. No, they haven't. Was that silver scales along with other scales? They weren't silver, but there are other scales along with those other scales. There are painted scales mixed with other scales. Yes. It's a hybrid. BBC, I don't. Next level, I do not paint soft plastics. I never wanted to open up that can of worms. Max, good question. Uh, depends. Depends on the size splatter you want. It depends on how picky you are. Some guys turn down their airbrushes to nearly zero air pressure and flick the thing or pull it back. I like the approach of putting something in front of the needle and then spraying. But I would need to show you how to do it because it's kind of confusing. Um, but I mean, if you're not doing a lot of baits, a toothbrush works fine. Um, I'm in a sharing mood. Well, nobody asks questions anymore. Nobody asks questions anymore. So it's kind of refreshing for people to ask. It's kind of like a lost art, like somebody actually giving a shit. It's pretty wild. And it's nearly midnight. And there's 25 people on here. So go figure. Uh, want to learn to paint your soft musky baits? I don't think that would be too terribly difficult. Um, I think you could probably. I think the most, and it's not even difficult, but it's finding a way to hold the plastics. And from what I've seen, most guys do is they have like two pins, and they just stick the bait in the pins, and then you can kind of work from there. But I mean, as far as painting them goes, you can get all that stuff from Lure Works, the Spike It people. A Vixen question? Uh, What was the vixen you did for Hellabass? You mean what? Where did the body come from? Or what was the color? The color I can tell you was a ghost bone. The bait. Oh, the color. Yeah, it was a ghost. It was a ghost bone. But that was a private run non-production vixen blank. So I don't know that that vixen is it's not ever been a factory vixen. Uh, it's got a different insert in it. Oh, it is Hella. You have the epitome of rare vixens. Um, that like if people collect vixens, that's it. So Hella, for your if you ever wanted to start a collection of vixens, you've got the top. Uh, there they are. Non-traditional Christmas movie for an adult. It's tough. I watch all the standards. Trying to think. Trying to think of something off the wall, Christmas related. Uh, I don't know. I have to ponder on that, John. Nothing's popping out. Nothing's jumping out at me. But I'm not of clear mind right now, so you have to forgive me. Krampus. Theo is over the elf and he's gone dark. He has gone dark. Yeah, BBC, good call. Probably grumpy old men because it's winter time and it's Christmas. It's Christmas time in the movie. I never liked Elf. Amy liked Elf. I wasn't an Elf fan. Holdovers. I don't get to watch shit anymore. I got to watch Hella for a little while today because I was up here. But at home, our TV went out. The LEDs went out in the screens, and I haven't replaced it because our kids don't watch TV anymore. It's awesome. It depends on how dumb. I like really dumb humor, but it's a certain kind of dumb that I like. Too sophisticated. It might not be dumb enough. It might not be dumb enough. What to order? Yeah, Anthony, I think I'm with you on that. I think it's just Will Ferrell is not my cup of tea. because I don't know. I'm trying to think of a Will Ferrell movie I liked. I liked him in Eastbound and Down. Uh, Old School is pretty good. I didn't like Talladega Nights. I didn't like the ice skating one. Uh, Anchorman, he was okay. I didn't really like Anchorman. Um, Step Brothers, I could, it, I could do without it. uh, he was good on Saturday Night Live. Like I like that Will Ferrell. Uh, but I didn't know. I didn't know he was a political guy. I guess he's not so political that I knew about it. His role in Eastbound and Down was the best. Agreed. Uh, down in my plums. That was funny. But I mean, I feel like that was funny just because Danny McBride was on the other side of the camera. Always Sunny Christmas episodes. There you go, Anthony. I think we're on the same wavelength with comedy. I like Steve Carell in The Office. Outside of that, I guess 40-Year-Old Virgin was pretty funny. I don't know what else he was in. Next Level Angling, I was watching one. Yes, actually watched that last night and today. I went back and watched the last night. I laid in bed and watched the Fixes, and I sat there and like cried because we used to say that all the time. We used to talk about the Fixins, and and then I saw it on Instagram last night and I started laughing, and it was so amusing to me. I watched it again today, a couple times. But I did see the plums with the juice running down my chin. Uh, but I had a buddy that worked. Actually, it was a buddy of a buddy, but a buddy of mine. Um, his best friend worked in New Orleans, and he worked in the film industry for a. He did lighting in the film industry, and all the fixings. Um, but so his buddy worked in the film industry, and he said he got to work with Danny McBride, and he said the dude was like he was exactly what you would think he would be, like partied relentlessly, coke, booze, all of it in the dude. But he said he was like everything you would hope and dream that Danny McBride was. He said that's how he was. Which is awesome. All the fixes. Oh, the fixes. No, apparently Kenny Powers was him. He is. He is in fact. the apple did not fall too far from the tree. So, but I've had, you've got people like that you're like, man, I really think this guy's funny. Uh, I'd like to. It'd be really cool to run into this guy randomly at like out somewhere and like go party with him. But then say that did happen, and then you find out they're a lame or like, you know, they're sitting there and they're total douche dicks and they're like drinking Topo Chicos and don't want to party. You're like, all right, whatever. Not what I expected, so I'll move along. But this guy, he met Danny McBride. Turns out he got the full show. Yeah, I think you could probably get Morgan. I think Theo's probably tooting it up out there if you want to know. Uh, I think he'd take a toot, even though he's not tooting. I think he might toot. John C. Reilly as Dr. Brule. Brule. What movie is that from? Oh no. What is this? How in the hell did that happen? Weird. Hmm. Follow him around, see just his normal stuff, what he does. Morgan, have you gone back and watched? Because I remember Theo from the Road Rules days on MTV, right? I was wildly obsessed with the Real World and Road Rules as a young kid. Um, and I remember Theo from Road Rules, and everybody thought he was fucking weird, and they didn't think he was funny, and they thought he was crude, and they thought he was like all these things. And then 20 years later, all those things that people hated him for, now people love him for it. It's odd because his personality didn't change; it was the same. But but everybody was like, nobody was like really welcoming to Theo, or like, he was kind of an outcast on that show. Um, but it is weird. Do you remember Rude Jude? Rude Jude. Enlighten me. Why would I remember Rude Jude? It's not ringing a bell. Is it pop culture? He's coming to play in the Razorback basketball stadium, and I have to go see him there. Probably worth it. I guess. I don't know. I mean, you've probably heard all his stuff. Adult Swim. Ah. Aha. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Part of me would like to go, but then the other part of me realizes that it's all that he's written all of it, and it's just like I feel like the part of Theo that I find the most entertaining is just his like off the cuff improv kind of stuff. Not so much his stand up. Like you said, just his like dealings with just normal conversations. But and I'm sure those he's got his questions, and he's kind of formulated how they're going to answer, and then he's calculated his responses to a degree. Just to go for the support. I hear you. That would be fun. And it's a completely different thing to be there live and hear him and see him deliver it. And it'll be fun. It will be fun, especially if you got close. You can listen to Turnpike. I don't know. I don't feel like. I feel like live you'd probably get disappointed. I've listened to so much of their live shit. Felker's voice live is definitely not what it is in the studio. Don't get me wrong. I would probably fangirl at a Turnpike show, but audibly, it's not up to par. But I would still not pass up an opportunity to go see him. Yeah, still an experience. Still an experience. Guys, I'm done with baking pies. You ever had Tang pie? It's not a trick question. As for me, it's the best concert you've gone to. Driving in Crime was awesome. Tang pie, yeah, it's a real thing. Best concert I've ever been to. I know the worst. Best concert. I don't know. I'd have to ask Amy. I saw Incubus in high school on the when they did Morning View and Make Yourself on both of those tours, and those were incredible shows. Who else? That was in like the late '90s. Saw Dwight Yoakam at a bar in Austin. That was pretty incredible. Who else? Best show ever. I don't know. I have to think about it. I have to go back and look it through my phone and like look through pictures and get like a refresher. Best concert ever. Hadn't thought about that in a while. I heard what's his name? Cody Jinks before he blew up in at the whatever it is in Fort Worth, Stockyards or whatever. That was awesome. I didn't know who he was, but like he started just ripping off songs. I was like, holy shit, that song's awesome. That song's awesome. That song's awesome. Who is this guy? Cody Jinks. Okay, whoever that is. But that was years and years and years ago. Dude, Loud and Heavy's great, great album. And then it went way downhill. But you got to think, like, that wasn't his first album. I think he had one or two before that one. But your early albums, like when you're a band or an artist, you've had your whole life to prepare that material. And then after your success, then the clock starts. It's like, all right, now you have to write another album, and you have to do it in a year, and it better be good. Whereas the first couple albums, you wrote them over the course of your whole life. Uh, I'd like to see Tool live. Uh, Junior made me not believe in God too much when you were 4. I went to church for the first time. Anthony, a couple weeks after his concert, and I was waiting for the party to start because there was a stage. Then I got that he doesn't come on stage. You just have to believe and imagine. That could be the strangest story I've ever heard. Uh, Bush, Gavin Rossdale still looks great. Still sounds pretty good. I could see Bush being good. I've been playing a song by a band some of you might remember. Um, that's still touring, and it's still the original band. I'm pretty sure. Uh, and that band is Cracker, and the song is Low. BBC, you'll probably have to look that one up. But they're still doing it. They're still out there singing Low. They've released like 10 more albums since that song. Uh, it's a very 90s kind of pop grungy rock song. It's good though. I don't even know that I'd call them grunge. I mean, they were kind of grungy. Maybe. But all right, boys. It's good talking to everybody. I'm gonna go clear cut these things and get the hell out of here. What is grunge? Is that a joke? BBC, are you being funny right now? And if you're not, just say you are. I'll wait for you to respond that you're being funny. Grunge killed hair metal. True. Jim, enjoy the fixins. Like, what category is grunge? Grunge is its own category, bro. It is a category. It is a genre, if that's what you're looking for. You ever heard of Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, all that shit you like? That's grunge, bro. They all got lumped together. Well, it is rock, but there's subgenres of rock. Rock is a pretty good umbrella. That's like all fishing lures just being lures. Turn on lithium. Anthony, what is show me where grunge, what happened with you and grunge, bro? What's your beef with grunge? The Seattle sound, yeah. Well, now you know. Now you know, BBC. It's too whiny. Let's see that. I don't know. I feel like there's way whinier. It's whiny men in music that rock. That's funny. You think Alice in Chains are whiny? Like you like when you hear Lane Staley, you think, God, what a whiner. Like I could see Eddie Vedder being a whiner. He kind of strikes me as a whiner. Uh, Cobain, he was a little whiny. Uh, Cornell, a little whiny. Lane though. Lane. I could never consider him a whiner. But Alice in Chains is my favorite band out of the grunge era. 10 was a great album. Garden was my favorite song over that. Actually, Pearl Jam was responsible for getting me into playing guitar because I heard a guy play live at a hotel downtown during Mardi Gras when I was like 11, and I heard him play that, and I said, "Damn!" And it would have been right when the live or when 10 came out, and I heard him play that at that hotel. The kid was like 2 years older than me. I've never told you all that story. All right, check this out. This will be quick, and then I'll get off of here. So when I'm like 10, 11, 12 years old, however old I was, 10 or 11, I was downtown with my parents at the Malaga Inn. So the Malaga is this like super old haunted hotel in downtown Mobile, and it's a big square, and it's got a courtyard on the inside. Well, my parents' friends were in some Mardi Gras organization, and they had their hotel room inside the Malaga, and everybody would go down there and party at the Malaga during the day and see all the parades and shit, and hang out in the room, eat food or whatever. Well, inside the courtyard, they had this band, and my parents were uh, dicking off at their friend's place, and I went and watched the band. Like I said, I was 10 or 11, and the band was a bunch of old cheese dicks playing, like uh, Beach Boys shit and like shit old people want to listen to. And so they take a break, and this like 13, 14-year-old kid gets up there and asks the lead singer. He said, "Hey, can I play your guitar while you're on break?" And the dude was like, "Yeah, sure." So remember it like it was yesterday. The dude had like a lemon yellow Fender Strat, white pick guard. Kid got up there, put the guitar on, cranked the volume, and played the intro riff to Alive. And I was like, holy shit. And it was loud and it was awesome. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to be able to do that. So, um, fast forward 30 years, nearly 25 years to my wedding day. We're having our wedding reception at the Malaga Inn. Well, we're hanging out. It's after the wedding. Everybody's, partying, being merry. Amy walks up and she's like, "Hey, I want you to meet this guy." I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he's like, "Hey," forget his name. Say John. something like that. But she was like, he owns the Malaga. I was like, oh no shit. And he's like, yeah, I'm like, my parents owned it, and then I've kind of taken over. And I was like, man, I've got fond memories of this place. And he's like, oh yeah. I said, yeah. I said, it's responsible for me playing the guitar. And I told him the story. And he said, you want to know something weird? I said, what's that? He said, that kid was me. I said, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, why do you think I got up there and played? He said, he said, I knew the bands that played down here because I was down here all the time because my parents were down here all the time. So I stayed down here and all I did was play the guitar. And I was like, no shit, that was you. And he was like, yeah. He was like, Pearl Jam. I'm like, yeah. So it was the dude. And he was like, you play? I was like, yeah. Because of you. And he was like, damn, dude. He's like, we should get together and play. And I was like, that'd be awesome. But yeah, it was the same damn kid. 25 years later on my wedding day. How about that? But haven't talked to the guy since. But I would like to maybe one day get together with this guy and be like, hey, dude, let's take some amps down out in the courtyard and just rip on some damn Pearl Jam. How about that? For old time's sake. I think it'd be fun. Like, let's close this bitch down and just. But the other thing is there's another interesting story with that place. So I've never had any paranormal I've never had a reason to believe in ghosts, but I've never had a reason not to believe in them. So I was kind of indifferent on the spirit world as far as that goes. But supposedly, the Malaga Inn is one of the most haunted places in the South. And there's certain rooms that are very haunted and other ones that aren't. So we go, and I'd heard that, you know what I mean? There's like stories of it. You can look it up if you want to, if you're interested in ghost stories. But so I we go and we have our wedding rehearsal that Friday night, and I go out, get slammered, come back to the hotel, go back to the bedroom, and by myself. I got my own room. I go in there, and I'm just gonna lay down and like watch TV and go to bed. So I walk over there to the TV, pull it, get the remote, try to turn it on. It doesn't work. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I go and I like look for the button on the TV, and I like push buttons on the TV. That doesn't work. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, all right, what's the next thing you do? And I'm pretty drunk at this point. So I go and unplug the TV and like plug it back in and like go through that shit, trying to get it to like reset or whatever. So while I'm digging with the TV, the pillows on the bed, it sounded like somebody picked them up and threw them on the floor real hard. They didn't just fall off the bed. They like were thrown onto the floor very hard. So my drunk ass turns around. And when I turn back around, the TV comes on. That's interesting. So I was just drunk enough that I didn't give a shit. And I walked over to the bed and I picked up the pillows and I threw them on the bed. And I said, Ghost, scoot the fuck over. And that is 100% what I said. I said, Ghost, scoot over. And I went and I got in bed and I went to sleep. I woke up the next day. And the Sunday when we were leaving, we were talking to the guy that owned the place. And I said, so what's the deal with the spooky stuff around here? And he's like, I was like, is that real? And he's like, yeah. He said, there's lots. He said, all the people that work here can tell you stories. And I was like, what's the creepiest room? He's like, 00. I was like, which one is that? He said, the one on the end on the corner. I was like, the one I stayed in? He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, thanks, dude. And he's like, yeah, half the women that work here won't go in there. He's like, when it needs to be cleaned, he's like, nobody will clean it. I'm like, nice, thanks, dude. And so, yeah. Yep. But then it reminded me of that scene in a Scary Movie where what's her name's banging the damn ghost, but pretty funny. You know what I'm talking about? Where she's like crawling up the wall and he's like trying to get away from her, and then like he's in the painting smoking a cigarette. So anyway, all right, let me go finish painting. Get out of here. Later, you bunch of damn cockroaches. Go to sleep. See y'all later.